Hello everyone, my name is Kayla. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be bringing you my August TBR. So I have a lot of exciting books on here. A lot, obviously, because I like to torture myself and have lots of books on my TBR that I will never get to all of them. But we're going to try this month because that's the fun of reading, is to try. So first book on my TBR is A Song for the Wild Built by Becky Chambers. So this is a novella, and I believe it follows a robot that wants to be human, something like that. I could be totally wrong. I know almost nothing about this novella. But I do know Becky Chambers is a new favorite author after I read A Long Way to a Small Angry Planet and really, really enjoyed that. I love her representation, I love her writing, I love the characterization, I love everything about that book. So obviously I'm going to be reading the rest of that series, but I wanted to read a palette cleanser from her as well, see what her writing's like outside of that series. And this is a buddy read with Faye from Books and Chocoholic, who I will link down below, who I talk about every video because she's a very, very good friend. And she has a Discord as well, which I don't think I can link another person's Discord in my box here. But she has a Discord. Obviously, you can talk about these books with her and all the other friends, and it's really, really nice. Okay, and then moving on, we have Kingdom of Copper by S.A. Chakraborty. So I read the first book in this series last month, and it was so good. 4 out of 5 stars, excellent, top tier, loved it. And it follows Ali and Nari. They are two very different characters in very different walks of life. And they both go to this city called Daevabad, and it's a magical city, right? Because of course. And Nari comes from all the way from Cairo in Egypt to go all the way across the desert, all across the Sahara, I believe. I could be totally wrong with this geography. I'm doing my best here. But she goes to this place called Daevabad, which isn't a real place, obviously. It's a definitely magical, mythical city. And she meets Ali, and things don't go very well. She crosses desert with Dara, and in Daevabad things just didn't go well for Dara and Nari. But hopefully things go a little better in this book, or they're going to explode more. Who knows? We'll see. And that one is also a buddy read and continuation with Faye from Books and Chocoholic, because she read the series and she recommended it to me, and I was like, I gotta try it out with a recommendation that good. And then moving on, we have The Legend of Drizzt by R.A. Salvatore. So this is a D&D book, Forgotten Realms book, set in the Forgotten Realms, which is often a big thing in D&D. I don't know too much about it. I'm probably talking out of my ass here. But essentially this was recommended to me by my fiancée Christina, and I'm really excited to get into something that she really enjoys. So Drizzt is a drow elf. And I believe drow elf, or maybe just drow. It doesn't say. I'll talk about this more, probably in a reading vlog, and see my kind of thoughts and feelings on it. But essentially, I do want to know more about The Legend of Drizzt, obviously, Drizzt the character, and see why my fiance loves this so much. I mean, it's an intense fantasy, I know that. It's a high fantasy set in a world that isn't ours. And I hope to love it. I really do. Moving on, we have Twilight by Stephanie Meyer. So I've read this book a few times, and I seem to like it less and less every time I read it. But I am doing this as a reread / buddy read with Donna from Donna Marie Reads, and her group and her community. And for those of you who don't know, this is a vampire paranormal romance type thing, and follows Bella and Edward and a little cast of other characters, but essentially it's like a romance between these two people, and things go wrong because of course between humans and vampires things don't really work all that well. So yeah, then I'm really excited about this one. It's a reread too. This is Feed by Mira Grant. So this is a buddy read and reread with Faye from Books and Chocoholic. She was talking about reading this in her August TBR, so I was like, Gotta reread this, honestly. We read this in 2020 with her and Eleanor, and had a really, really excellent time with it. It was such a nice time. We did like a live show and everything, which is probably still on my channel somewhere, but so good. So essentially this is a zombie apocalypse. It's set in the year, not sure, but it started in 2014 when there was this cure to cancer that turned people into zombies when it interfered with another cure for something else. So, and then we have these characters many, many years later who follow this presidential candidate, and they are talking about his life and the reasons why he wants to become president and all this kind of stuff. And it's really good. They're like the news people, and that's why it's called the News Flash series, and they're just documenting this person's life. So it's really good. I love the zombie part, but I also love like the science behind it and everything that it kind of means. So yeah, really good book. Next we have Mislaid in Parts Half Known by Shannon McGuire. So this is not a buddy read or anything. I know I've doing a lot of buddy reads this month, but this is an audiobook that I got from my library, and it's a continuation of the Portal Fantasy series by Shannon McGuire. And this one follows Antsy, who I believe we heard about in book 7 or 8 in the Lost in the Moment and Found. And I'm definitely more interested to hear about her story, so like I can't wait to see like what goes on with that. But also I'm a little scared for her because like things that happened to her like were not great. But then she wasn't sure about her door, and like part of the thing is you have to be sure to stay in that Portal Fantasy world, and then she gets like shoved back into the real world, the non-Portal Fantasy world, I guess, and it's just kind of trying to figure out what to do now. And then the last thing that I'm hoping to read this month is From Damsels into Dragons by Hannah Burse. So this is a ebook that I have on my Kindle, and this is a review copy from the author. I was talking to her on Instagram, and I read her one of her first books that she like has out, and that's Bigfoot in Love and Other Stories. And it was a solid 5 stars. So like I'm so excited to read like the next thing, because like I have high hopes for it because it was such a good book. It was a short story collection. This is a short story collection as well, and I can't wait to get into it. It's going to be so exciting. So let me know down below, what are you planning to read this month? Do you make TBRs? Because I know a lot of people do, but do you actually stick to them? Because I do not. I always am hopeful at the beginning of the month that I'm going to stick to it and everything's going to be amazing, but then like I just want to read other things. I'm definitely a mood reader, so that's the thing. Anyway, thank you very much for watching.